Yeah, I'm excited to be here, and I will be talking about the workplace of the future and how to prepare for the unknown. Let me start with a simple story. It's a true life story. Uh, so there's a guy, his name is Brian Rogue. He was fired from Amazon during the early stages of the pandemic. So here was Brian. Brian was shocked because he has been with Amazon for 2 3 years, and he was shocked, like, oh, where's the loyalty of the company to me? So pandemic happened. They say it was a Great Depression. They have to look at costs and all that stuff. So he started job hunting. As he was job hunting, he was interviewing with several companies. He was out of job for like 2 months. Then he got a job at IBM. IBM hired him. He was happy. The pay was a bit better than what he was earning at Amazon. But while he was interviewing, you interview with several companies. Meta came calling, and the interview went through, and Meta gave him another offer. So here he was juggling. Should I leave IBM and switch to Meta? While he was thinking and trying to make a decision on that, thinking of loyalty, an idea came to his mind. What if I do both? Wow, that would be more money. I can finally start saving for my future. That investment I want to do, I can actually do that. Something else came up. What if I get caught? Okay, so he went online to do a research on, like to check forums, see what people are saying. He now saw that there's actually a community for this. They call themselves the overemployed. So they call themselves the overemployed, OE for short. And they use all sorts of acronyms and say, yeah, you can do more jobs at the same time. It's very easy. You just need to know how flexible they are. They have to be remote. You have to be able to... Cut the long story short, Brian took the job. 2 companies at the same time, and he was able to manage his time very well. He took a 3rd job, and he became overemployed. And there are so many people like that. There was a recent study that says about 10% of, like in an average company, like at least 5 or 10% of the employees are actually doing more than one job. And you will see this number grow more when you come to tech companies, when you come to companies that don't need to come physically to work, that are doing full remote job. That is the future, that's the future, or one of the futures of workplace, how the new workplace is gradually getting to be. There are about 4 lessons from this narrative I just gave you, or 4 facts. Let me use that word. One is most of these overemployed, which I'm sure some CIOs or some executives here or sales leaders here have experienced. These people are actually diligent, efficient, and disciplined with their time. They know how to manage their time. Sometimes there will be crises within some of these companies, this organization, where there will be Hail Mary. Some of them will now apply for leave and do all that kind of stuff, but they are very efficient and they do well. Brian, in this interview, actually said that for his performance metric, he's always scoring exceed expectation. Again, employers, have now switched from measuring work by when did you resume, when did you close, to actually measuring the volume of work and the actual deliverable you're supposed to give for that particular work. Again, 3rd one is some of these employees are actually not so loyal again to the company like you used to have before, because they feel to the company I'm dispensable. Once the company runs into some murky waters, they start downsizing, 20% of the workforce has to go. So why don't I have a job, and I have the backup of the job, and I have the backup of the backup of the job? So that's why they have a J1, J2, J3. That's the term that these overemployed employees actually use. That's one of the things that are changing the future of what workspaces are. And we know what some of the things that affect this. I'm not here to tell you how to deal with the overemployed. And that will depend on your company, your policy. But I'm just saying that the world is changing. And the only constant thing is change. And it's not fighting the old, it's actually being aware of it and responding to it. How do you respond to remote work? How do you respond to flexible schedule? How do you respond to digital collaboration, increased automation? In this conference, there has been several mentions of cybersecurity, AI, innovation, ChatGPT, and so many other things. And again, the gig economy and the freelance. So what are some of the forces changing the future of workspaces? Technology advances. I was speaking to the MD and manager of a particular big hotel in Nairobi, and he said he engaged some consultants out of the country, and they built some RPAs for him. That's robotic process automation. So when he was testing it, and he was excited at what that can do for him. And he's saying that if he adopts this technology, he might have to lay off about 30% of his workforce, because those ones give him errors in the reports, getting all those reports, all those flows. But if he adopts this technology, 30%, that he's looking at some people and he's saying, you are most likely going to be out of a job. So these are some of the forces. RPAs, AI, and so many automation tools that are impacting job roles and giving us the need for upskilling. Globalization, again. For most companies I've met here, you have offices in Kenya, Nairobi, Lagos, UK, globalization. So even if you have physical office here, you still need offices elsewhere. Let me ask a question just to engage the room. How many people have taken Teams call while in this meeting? Show of hands. Like you've taken either a Teams call or a Google Meet call. Yeah, so you can see people are actually still working while you are here, and you're still able to engage and do all that stuff. Then demographic shifts, demand for inclusion, demand for ESG, demand for diversity in workforce. All these things are changing, and they're affecting what the future of the workspace would be. This poses some challenges, but as business leaders, challenges are opportunities, right? One, job displacements. If you go back in time, there were some people that their job or their family history, especially in Africa, right, is to fan the king. Like, that's their heritage. That's what they are born for. Just fan the king. So there are people that actually use and fan. But electricity came, right? That means you can have fans. Some people change with that change, right? And that's why you have electricians, you have electronics people, you have people manufacturing fan. Some people did not change, and they are left behind. And you have people like, oh, it's still my family heritage, I still have to fan. I don't want to learn all those new technology. How are we preparing for the unknown? While there might be job displacements, with upskilling, new jobs are created. And that means that we need to look at our workforce and see how all these changes, AI, remote work, flexible schedules, and how we can look at our workforce and see upskillings that needs to happen, and how to make our workforce still relevant. Technological unemployment, robotic machines in the farms, as that is going to displace some jobs, again, it's going to create more opportunities, enhance productivity in the future of workspaces, flexibility, work-life balance, people now able to manage their life better. I came from Lagos. I know Nairobi is better, Kenya is better. If you're going to work in Lagos, you spend at least 1.5 hours or 2 hours in traffic going to work. And again, I know this happened in Kenya again. First subsidy is being removed. So cost of actually getting to work is getting more. You now see employers saying, okay, how do we, because we can't increase salary now because the economy is not so good, okay, should we reduce the number of times they come to work and make it an hybrid situation? Those are the challenges, those are the new factors affecting how the future of work would be. People now have remote times. People now are able to work at home. Then one of the speakers yesterday said something that was very important and useful, and said that it's better to earn $1,000 here than $5,000 in US. And you will see a lot of people now work remotely, working for these foreign companies. bringing dollar into the economy, and they're living good lives. But one of the things that has happened again is that for these employees, and that's an additional fact about the overemployed, is that they still want to be relevant in their current economy, either in Kenya, Ghana, Nigeria, or whatever the economy is. Because if you keep working for, let's say, Meta, or you're working for Amazon in the US, they don't even know you. You are just a line on their spreadsheet, like one of my friends used to say. So at any point in time, you might not be relevant. They still want to be relevant in their local system. So they're still looking for local works, local job, or things they can do internally. Times and conditions change rapidly, so we must constantly be focused on the future. How do we prepare for the future? What skills are necessary for the future? Critical thinking, problem solving. In this era of ChatGPT, where you can ask ChatGPT to do almost anything for you, you still need the actual person to actually think critically and piece all that together. And especially in Africa, where data is not readily available. There have been studies saying that ChatGPT is actually not so accurate when it comes to Africa data in Africa, right? And it's one of the discussions that happened in the breakout session. Critical thinking skills, problem solving skills, digital literacy, ensuring. Something we do at SeamlessHR is that some people might find this funny. Actually, with ChatGPT, you can write codes, right? Something we do at SeamlessHR is every developer, you must use ChatGPT. You have to be digitally literate. You'll be like, is that not going to reduce their job? No. It's going to make sure you're not doing the mundane stuff and you're working on the critical stuff, on things that actually matters. Instead of spending 2 hours writing a for loop or just coding what you can actually get out and merge. You have to ensure that your workforce, you have to ensure that people you are working with actually are digitally literate. And then, I can't overemphasize this, adaptability and flexibility. The agile leadership, which speaks to my next slide. Emotional intelligence, continuous learning mindsets. People who wish to go into the future should have 2 skills: ability to deal with people and ability to sell. And it summarizes what I think the CEO of one of the speakers yesterday, the name just flew off my mind. I think it's the one. Yeah. He asked a question yesterday, and he said, Nexford University, sorry. Yeah. So he asked a question yesterday and said, what skill do our employers actually asking for that they said would help? And it's communication skill. Communication skill, ensuring people can communicate. And communication is a two-way stuff. It's not like, I can speak well. If people are not getting what you're saying, there's a gap in that communication. Build communication skills within the organization, within your team, within members of staff, and also your stakeholders. Collaboration, teamwork, creativity, innovation, and also emotional intelligence. How do we lead people to a workplace they want to work in the future? Agile leadership. There are some leaders I've met where they are stuck with one way. This is how we do things here. Can we get a software that do it this way? Can we get something that do it that way? Agile. Always be listening. What's going on? What are people saying? There's something about AI happening here. There's something about predictive learning. There's something about prescriptive learning. How are you getting yourself engrossed in that? How are you failing fast and also failing forward? Empathy, inclusivity, getting people from different diversity so that innovation comes out from that. Leading remote teams, diverse teams, and also balancing technology and human stuff. I won't talk about cybersecurity challenges. I'll let the guys I think the guys in Cyber Range, Kapasky have done a lot of work on that. But with the advent of AI, there are so many questions around cybersecurity. There are questions around policies, especially in Africa. People are using AI in different ways. Where do we stand as CIOs to actually sit and say, okay, how do we create policies around this? How do we use AI responsibly and also in a good manner? There will always be bad actors, and there will always be good actors. Building a future-ready organization. because one of the most important things in the organization is the people itself, is the workforce. And that's why we're talking about the future of workplace and how to prepare for the unknown. One is employee engagement. You might have this overemployed in your organization. Some of them might actually love your company, and I've seen that happen a lot, even in Seamless, where someone would say, oh, I got another job, and they're paying me 4x what you're paying me, but I'm not accepting because I love working at SeamlessHR. Or I got another job, let me try it out. Within 2 months, 2 weeks, some of them come back, actually, and said, that place is not where I want to work. I want to work here. How do you recognize the importance of employee well-being? How do you address burnout and stress in the workplace? And how do you implement mental health program, team bonding activities to ensure that people are actually being productive in what they are doing? And on the workspace environment itself, the culture of learning, the culture of curiosity, the culture of candor, where people are able to speak and ask questions and say, why are we doing it this way? And challenging the norm. And that fosters innovation, it fosters creativity, and it embraces diversity and inclusion. So don't just stay in your little corner and say, oh, we are just working with this set of people. Why are you recruiting remote teams and having diverse ideas and implementing flexible work schedule and also collaborating across boundaries? So I think I've spent some time explaining the future of workspace, and there's a lot that's still going to change. I don't think anybody knows. Elon Musk said AI is very dangerous. He doesn't know what the future of it would be. Some people are embracing it and say AI is the future. AI is very good. It will always change. There will always be new things happening. There's blockchain technology. There's so many things happening in technology scheme. Technology, there's cybersecurity, there's depression, and all that. So the future of workspace is still evolving, but we have to prepare for it. And it's by acquiring all these skills, being attentive, and also having an agile leadership. How can SeamlessHR help? At SeamlessHR, we are African leading enterprise SaaS platform, and our mission is to help African businesses optimize their resources so that they can be more productive and help working people to enjoy a better life. So we build end-to-end HR platform. And when we build, we don't just build just small modules. We build the modules, and we build it very well, right from recruitment to onboarding, to confirmation, to leave management, payroll management, performance management, all the way to offboarding. We are in several countries, several employees, and we have all modules that gives you access to end-to-end HR information and HR process. We like to call ourselves a data company rather than an HR tech company, because look at the journey I explained just now. It speaks through many data points. And we've had conversation in this room talking about AI, talking about cybersecurity challenges, talking about data and innovation. All that can come if Africa is also generating its own AI. And one of our goals, like we said, help African businesses optimize their resources, is if you work with enough African businesses, you can have several data points, and responsibly, of course, and with consent. You can have all these data points, and you are able to generate good insights within the data. So imagine someone trying to apply for leave. I'll use an employee, for example, and you're trying to submit it, and something prompted you and said, should I submit this leave for you by 5 p.m.? Because from my analysis, your line manager would approve if you send it by 5 p.m. than if you send it now. And that's because he has studied, maybe your line manager is always happy by 5 p.m. or something. Or I was having a conversation earlier on today with someone analyzing leavers, where as a line manager, someone said, I'm looking for a Kenyan name. Okay, yeah. So, said? Obama. Okay, yeah, that's a very solid Kenyan name, yeah. And someone said, Obama is likely to resign in 3 months. And that's because of, one, maybe Obama has been on this job for 3 years, and has not moved. Obama has not been promoted. And you can see that Obama's applied for leave more often than not. Maybe he's going for interviews. And this trend are coming from different, because it's not just your organizational information from all over Africa, how behaviors are. And you have recommendation following that also, saying that you can actually promote Obama or move him to another role. Promotion is not the solution. Move him to another role and do all that. So all that is possible with data, and that's our mission and our goal. The second thing I'll talk about, which is the last thing before I round off, is employee experience. Like I said earlier on, some of these overworkers or overemployers still want a connection with the company they are working with. They can be I don't want to use that word, but people that work with people for money, right? So they can be doing this for this organization to just earn money, but they still want to belong to a community. They want the right company where they feel among, they feel like a family, they feel like a team, and they're working towards a goal. With SeamlessHR, you are able to have a good employee experience. We are focused on an ESS and also an executive or manager experience that allows your employee feel connected. Social interaction, career pattern, praises and recognition, feedback and surveys, messaging. There's even a mobile app. So it's not just about the, so don't just look at it like the automation workflow of HR processes. It's also a platform for your employees to actually feel engaged and feel like they are part of and feel like, okay, one more slide, and feel like they are part of the company. What's the future for us also, as I'm talking about the future of workspaces and preparing for the unknown? Like I said, our mission is to help African businesses optimize their resources. And if I ask, what are African business resources? I will have asked question, but my time is almost off, right? So one, people. HR people don't like saying that people are resources, yeah, but people, assets, and also finance, which form the golden triangle of SeamlessHR product. So we are piloting also a procurement application in Nigeria, bring it eventually to Kenya also. So we are managing people, we are managing assets, and also finance also. So with this triangle, you have all the data points to actually be that data company to see what you need to actually succeed and get the right data and the right data insights and information to make meaningful decision. Thank you very much.